Hey y'all, today we're making more progress. My name is Andrew. This is the OK Humvee. Well, welcome back. It's been a while. In fact, it's been a wild couple months for us. So I haven't been able to do as many videos as I'd like, or work, honestly, as much as I'd like. Our son was in the hospital for a week, and that was extremely tough. He's good now. He's good. That was a really tough week, and so that took some time to work through, and then we had Easter and Easter services at church, and then we had family in town and dodgeball events, and just it has been a crazy. Oh, and then we went out of town just to get away from the chaos. So it's been a minute since we worked on anything. So thank you for sticking in there and hanging with me. Still getting DMs like, where are we at? So I'm just gonna jump right in. Obviously, there's parts on the table. There's parts on the way, so that is a good sign. In the last video, if you haven't watched it, start there. I was waiting on the court order to be signed. And guess what I have in my hands? I have a signed court order from the court clerk, office of the court clerk. I won't say the name. It has been filed as of March 6th. It's got the stamp of approval and everything. So, one hurdle cleared. So I do have a signed court order that has been submitted to the Oklahoma Tax Commission. And my tax agency, they're super helpful. They think this is ridiculous too. They've been very helpful through all this process. So the Tax Commission emails back. Let me read it to you. All right. So the Tax Commission gets the, what did I just say this was? The court order for the title. It's been submitted. Tax Commission gets it. So now they send me special instructions. They send it to the DMV2, a title consultant special instructions form. With everything that says all that they have to do. One of the major things is 754-MSV must be completed, which is basically an inspection. Like I have to go to the DMV with the Humvee, get it inspected and notarized there, for them to then submit all this form back for, you know, who knows how much longer. But it does have the court order case number on here. Plate will be sent to me once all that's approved. But anyways, we're making progress. I did want to read the receipt of payment. I think I said, I don't remember how much I said it cost. I think it was like 100 and some bucks. Just for the full transparency of if you're trying to register a Humvee in Oklahoma, this is what I went through. This is a receipt of payment. It was $160.39. That was the exact amount I had to send via check, which who uses checks anymore? Clerk's fee, $85. Law library fee, civil and criminal, $6. Court clerk revolving fund, $2.16. Oklahoma court appointed special advocates, $10. Council on Judicial Complaints Revolving Fund, $1.55. Dispute Mediation Funds, civil only, $7 even. A65 State Judicial Revolving Fund, Interpreter Services, 45 cents. District Court Revolving Fund, $3.23. OCIS Revolving Fund, $25. Sheriff's County Fee and Courthouse Security, $10. I'm glad we're making sure everybody's staying safe. And court clerk's record management and preservation fee, $10. So all that should add up to $160.39. So that's what it costs to get a court order in the state of Oklahoma for the tax commission to issue a title for a vehicle. So that's where we are now. I got that email this week, and I have 60 days to get the Humvee about an hour north via back roads, probably about an hour. And I gotta make sure it has all the things for it to be street legal. I don't know how thorough they're gonna be with the inspection. It's not crazy stuff. I mean, it's stuff, I'm close. All right. So, the form, I guess I didn't talk about that. The specific form mentioned in that I have to take with me and get notarized is specific for military vehicles. Oklahoma has a former military inspection form for them to get a title. Again, if we've already got this form and I've already got this form, why do I have to get a court order to get this form? I don't know. In fact, the lady at the DMV, she's been super helpful. My tag agency's been great. It's just far. She did say, I asked her, I said, hypothetically, if I were to have a title from another state, any state, in my name, could I transfer it? She said, yes. Any state, you could transfer it, I could give you a plate today. So, that is still a backup plan. But I do think I can see this through, start to finish, and see how it goes. But, so with this, I have to prove it's got 3 axles or fewer, less than 35 years old. Yeah. Considering I don't actually know the date of this, we should be fine. Has for each occupant safety belts, safety harnesses, which should be installed. So, if there's no seats in the back, did I hear that crow? If there's no seats in the back, technically those don't have to have seat belts. So I have 2 seat belts on the way, at least 2 headlamps, I got that, at least 2 tail lamps, got that, 1 dash, not more than 2. I'll figure that out. License plate lamp, gotta do that. At least 2 red reflectors on the rear, I've got that. At least 2 stop lamps in the rear, brake lights, got that. Turn signals that flash to the front and rear vehicle, I've got that. For vehicles over 80 inches wide, the following lamps and reflectors, 2 front amber clearance lamps, 2 red clearance lamps, rear, 2 side marker lamps. I had this, yeah, I've got the side marker lamps. This one doesn't work, the other side does. 2 reflex reflectors, front is amber, rear is red. No more than 2 backup lamps, and then hazard warning lights. I don't know if I've got hazards. I need to look at that. So definitely need hazards. Need to fix the clearance lights, put the side markers all on, the reflectors. And then clearance lights. Crud, I meant to buy that this morning. I just bought a bunch of other stuff I need too, and I forgot. That was the one thing that was starting my purchasing. I had a bunch of Amazon gift cards from Christmas that was 4 months ago that I just now bought. But anyways, I should do that real quick before I forget, because I have a front, somewhat H1 looking clearance light bar. I need to go ahead and get the rear red one. I have 15 minutes to add to tomorrow's delivery. Let's see. That'll work. It's just gotta get me through the inspection. So, on top of the stuff I need to do for the inspection, I do still have the seals for the transfer case leak. I've got the Doghouse engine cover hardware kit, so that can be a little bit more secure. I've got a new belt and a tensioner. I'll start with the tensioner, see if that fixes the squeak. I do have to have a VIN number on the vehicle for the inspection. So I've got to make that. Also, I'm thinking about making some custom plates. Not this big, but something that kind of looks like this for the Portal Hub Off-Road Club. We'll see. If you're interested in that, let me know. I need to finish up some wiring so I can get that seat bolted in. Got this off because I want to drive it out, see if my steering wheel's straight. Maybe straighten that up before I bolt all the horn stuff back on. I'd like to put the new horns, wire them in with the current horn. I got my step down converter for some stuff so I can get the other lights started going. I want to, the passenger seat is not secure because I got just battery junk and the cutoff switch. So I need to reroute all that, put the plate in, put the little clippy guys on so that it's on more sturdy. So it's sturdy. And yeah, I want to get all that done in the next, hopefully not 60 days, in the next less than 60 days, so that I can take this on its maiden voyage an hour away with no doors. And I won't take it on the highway though, because I don't trust these tires. Yeah, I mean, I'll document, I'll try to see if somebody will follow me. One, to help me if I break down, but two, to video, you know, anything catastrophic that happens. Yep. So that's the plan. Oh, exhaust. I really want to get the exhaust before I drive it an hour. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe my neighbor let me use his welder. Oh, before I forget, should buy one of these. It turned out really good. If you don't want, you know, a bunch of AI slop Humvee stuff, you want something that's actually cool that you actually wear, check out the link in the description. I've got t-shirts and hoodies, and this thing, it's camo, but there's little Hummers and Humvees and the 3 different variants. You got a wagon top, you got a slant back, you got a truck. So it's pretty cool. You should get one. And yeah, that's it. Let's get to work. I think I'll make a new list. We'll start there and start wrenching on some things. Also, are any of you going to the Dallas area Humvee owner group thing? It's like the first annual one. They're gonna have people selling stuff like a parts swap and all kinds of stuff. If you're going to that, let me know. I'm thinking about going and either trailering this or just taking my truck and coming and buying stuff because I have a problem. If you're gonna be there, let me know in the comment that you'll be there. Yeah, I'm just curious. Rubber Duck makes a replacement kit for that I really want, but hood props are not really a high priority at this moment with everything else I gotta do. Okay. All right, let me show you around. All right, I gotta focus. I gotta finish grinding those off so I can weld the new hooks on, because then I can bolt the splash shields back on because they're not on either side. So gotta do that. Something else I can over here for. Now I can't even remember. Why did I open this? Oh, belt tensioner. Yeah, let's look at that. There it is. And there's not a lot of space for me to show you this, so you're just gonna see it here one moment, and then the next moment it won't be here. Ready, go. Ready, go. Ready. There you go. New one's in, no problem. Fixed everything. I mean, I wish that was true. Yeah. Let me show you what really happened. Okay. There's the old one. There's the new one. Old Daco. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell. It's interesting that the belt has worn kind of a groove in it. This one is, that one's still out of focus, but that one's straight. So anyway, there's only one way you can go in with that little hole. So basically done. I do have a new belt that I think is the right size, but I don't really remember. But also, what I do remember was parts of this being difficult to get to. So let's see, what was the hardest part? Don't remember. Maybe it was the crank pulley. So maybe if I start on the other side, actually, so I can get better access to the big one. So it's over, under, over on the top. And then I mean, it can only go one way because of the grooves. So you just got to remember to get all the pulleys. So we're going to compare these. I said we're going to compare these. Let go. Listen here. Making me look bad in front of my friends. Oh. Well, I did get it on, I think. Just had to walk away for a minute. It's pretty tight, but it looks good for the most part. I think I'm just gonna bump it a couple times and watch it, see what it does. Make sure it stays on. I mean, it's still on. Let's look at underneath the crank. It's the part that was giving me fits. Seems like it's all on here. Now, obviously, I could have still wasted this hour for nothing if we did all this and it still squeaks, which, you know, is a possibility. But that's how they go sometimes. Wouldn't you say? Well, that did not fix the squeak. So I don't know if you were able to see it on camera or not. I'm sure you could hear it, but crank pulley and the harmonic balancer behind it were bouncing quite a bit. So I'm guessing that's where my squeak's coming from, which is probably harmonic balancer. Which kind of sucks, considering all this is in the way. And I had it all off and had easy access to it, and I said, not today, and it should have been that day. So let this be a lesson. When you have everything taken apart, just do those extra things. You'll kick yourself if you don't. Well, on to something else. It did drive really well though. That was good. I didn't get that on video, but drove great. Question is, will that harmonic balancer make it on a 2-hour round trip? And I'm thinking I know the answer. But we'll think about that later. If I do this, I can actually check something off the list. I don't think there's an up and down to this. Man, the new marker lights I put on the bolt heads have already rusted. Good quality eBay parts for you. That was before, oh my gosh. How am I supposed to get my hand up in there? That was before I really knew what I was getting into, which, I mean, that may still be the case. 7/16. Of course, the only 7/16 ratcheting that I have is this little stubby guy, but we'll make it work. Don't need that. Before we get that one too tight, we'll go ahead and cinch this guy on. Okay, one side reflector out of 6, but we're getting there. I don't know if that was on there the whole time. Oklahoma Tax Commission, hope you appreciate this. Because I tell you what, I don't appreciate this at all. Let's do the other side. I need to look at that video and see if it looks like it's the harmonic balancer. I'll get a second opinion, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be. Okay, 2 reflectors. Amber on the front with all the cobwebs. Let's move to the back. If Will were here, he would tell me just to get the grinder and grind these off. And he's probably not wrong, seeing as there's no way. I might get a socket on that. See if these are seized in here. Well, they may not be seized, but this one is definitely stripped. All right, plan B. If you want to know why they weren't coming unbolted, there is a little bit of rust, corrosion on those. You know, I bought this little closeout plate a long time ago to fix this, and I just ignored it because I don't have enough bolts. But I almost lost that today when I was driving around. So we're gonna try to make sure that don't happen again. That looks better even without all the hardware. Is this what I should be spending 5 minutes doing? Sure, why not? One more thing to cross off the list. Well, it's a new day. We're gonna look at that pulley. Here's what I'm thinking. I don't know if there's a good way to show you. You just take my word. Down in there is the crank pulley and the harmonic balancer. Now, when I ran it the other day, that whole thing was vibrating. Could be 2 things. It could be just the harmonic balancer. The one thing that I didn't change on the front of the motor is bad, which can happen. I wouldn't have thought one this new would have that issue, like the motor, and it looked fine, but again, it looks can be deceiving. So it's either that or I did install the new crank pulley incorrectly, or the bolts aren't tight or something. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the belt off, turn it over, see if it's still shaking, which I'm sure it will. Take the crank pulley off. Like that's the one, I don't know if you remember, it was like solid billet aluminum, so it should be already balanced and everything, but if it's not in all the way or the bolts are bad or whatever, Anyways, I'm gonna take that off, turn it over again and see if the rest of it is still wobbly. If it's not, that tells me it was the crank pulley all along, and I'll figure out that. If it is still wobbly, then I know it's a harmonic balancer, and I'm not looking forward to fixing that. So let's get on there and see what we got. And since I have project ADHD, I do still have a few more things. Seat belts, clearance lights, finally got me some more rivets. We're gonna insulate the roof. Got my power inverter. Finally run my switch panel. I need to get that on the Doghouse. And I'm gonna finally reinforce the floor. You know, I told you I was gonna get the rocker panel protection. I will, that's still in the plans, but for now, if I am gonna have to drive this an hour away for the inspection, I don't want the floor shaking with my seat attached to it. There's no way to really show this, but that's the whole floor moving with the box and the reinforcements underneath. So we're gonna get creative with that. So stay tuned on that front. Is that the direction I want to go? Yep. So let me get a cheater bar from my Harbor Freight floor jack. Also, I gotta say, the new Badlands one that has this, that is a game changer. You know why? Because the old ones just had a little screw that went through and was threaded. I've lost that probably 6 times. At this point, I've stopped buying new ones just because I'm gonna lose them again. All right. Not gonna lie, this would be a ton easier with a second set of hands, but that's all right. Ugh. All right. Nice belt. All right. Here goes nothing. Okay, so it does, from that video, you can see it looks like, I don't know. You can definitely see it's moving. It could be, I put the pulley on and it's not seated right. So I'm gonna take it off and I guess we'll start there. I mean, I got 2 other pulleys. If for some reason I can't get that one to seat right, I can always check back in with Leroy Diesel and just see what I'm doing wrong. But start by taking that off, cleaning the surfaces, see if I can get that maybe seat a little better or trim the bolts or whatever. So I don't know, we'll see. So my concern is, are these bolts going to clear this fan shroud? Well, to be honest, I don't love how loose that was.
don't know if that's part of it or not. Let's see if I can get to any of these others without spinning. That one was kind of loose too. Who put this thing in here? Dadgummit. All these were relatively loose. I don't know if that, I mean, I'm sure it's not good, but I don't know if that's enough to cause all the wobble. All right, let me start. These are forever long bolts. Oh, you ever just laying there and then like your back starts cramping for no reason? All right, ooh, it's got anti-seize on it, which now, so does my hand, but whatever. Second bolt is out. Bolt number 3. All right, pulley and spacer. All right, come show you if I can get out from under here. This is the pulley. This is the billet aluminum from LeroyDiesel.com. Super nice. There does appear to be some wear. So it could have been that the bolts were just loose. But I can't imagine that was enough. I think it's something with, I don't know, maybe the adapter wasn't seated right. I don't know. I'm gonna try to clean that up, get some of the rust off. And I'm gonna turn it over. I'll throw you guys under there so you can take a look and see if the harmonic balancer is spinning too or not. Well, I mean, it's spinning, but is it wobbling? Okay, so this is the new one. And you can see some of those. I don't know if that was just from, I can tell you it wasn't that tight to eat through the anodization. Is that how you would say that? So either it was wobbling and caused those, which makes me think the bolts weren't tight, or, so this is the back of the spacer. That's the old one. You can see, I just have to put grease on here so it didn't seize on there, but you can see like those, I'm pretty sure I painted this. I have to go back and watch. You can see like there's like an edge there from where like maybe these were tighter and those weren't. I don't know. Also, this has got some rust in it, or maybe I put too much goop, but there's also that little ding right there. So I don't know if like that's enough, because it doesn't look like it's creating a gap, but I don't know. So I think I'm gonna test the old one, put the old one back in, see if it wobbles or wobbles less. See if it's the bolt. Because this one still has the spacer on it, so I'm not going to take it off. It looks decent. So we'll start there and see. Oh, you know what? These bolts are different lengths. Huh. I don't know if that's interesting. So I definitely don't think I can show this very well. There is a pretty large gap. So it's definitely, bolts are different. Maybe right there you can kind of tell. Bolts are different lengths. I don't know if that's enough to make a big difference. But, because one, this is crazy heavy, much heavier than this. And two, I know I don't want to use this pulley just because how rusted and pitted the pulley itself is. Even if like it does balance fine, I really would not like to use it. So instead of putting that back on, I'm going to clean this spacer up again. Try to get it nice and smooth. Clean out this little gap here so it can seat well. And I'm going to try the old bolts that are a little bit shorter and make sure it's seated well and try that again. And then we'll go from there. Okay, slight change of plans. I had this down there and I was ready to put it on. And no matter how, even with the bolt not in it, no matter how I rotated or positioned it, this didn't feel like it was seated in there really well. So I got the other pulley, popped this spacer collar thing out, slid it up in there, and it feels solid. Like it locks in, it doesn't rock. This rocks. So I don't know if there's just something not happy about this lip or what. But I'm gonna swap these and then we will try this again. Good? Good. I will clean it, just so you know. Well, my battery died, the pulley's in, so now let's see if we've made any improvements. Or if all of this has been for nothing. You know, I slide this under here and then I do this every time. I can't see, so I have to crawl under here. I took my hoodie off because I got hot. Ugh. All right. Okay, let's come. Ugh. Let's come right there. Okay. All right. Wing. Come on. All right, cross fingers, cross toes. Cross, whatever. Well, it appears to be better. Let's go look at the video from the phone. Maybe I can put those side by side and we can compare. Oh. Okay. To my naked eye on just my phone screen, it does look like it's better. I went back and watched the very first one I took. Even when it was just cranking to turn over, there was wobble in it. This had no wobble, even was spinning. There was no wobble. So I'm gonna put the belt back on. Which last time that took me like 30 minutes and it made me very angry. So we're gonna shoot for 15 minutes. I don't know why I said that. Now it's probably gonna take me 45 minutes. All right, let's do this.
Okay, so that was about 20 minutes, not 15, fortunately. So not great, still a little embarrassing, but it's in there. Now the moment of truth. Fire it up and see what happens. Just gonna leave it rolling. Let's go. So that fixed the squeak, it fixed the wobble. I'll probably check those bolts here in a little bit, make sure those stay tight, but I don't know what the torque specs I put them to were, but it was all of the ugga-dugga. So, yeah, I don't know if it was a combination of the spacer not seating or these being just like a hair too long or what, but I don't know, I'll take it. I feel a little bit better about it. Also, now that I'm through all this, I should admit that in my last video when I showed the tensioner bouncing and that's how I diagnosed it, I did get a comment on YouTube from a buddy who shall remain nameless. Belt tensioner bouncing up and down can also be your crank pulley. You know what I said? Crank pulley is brand new, so I hope that's not it. I'll check all the spinny parts though. And wouldn't you know it, he was right. Dadgum. Dad. As always, you were right. Should have listened the first time. All right. Next thing's next. I'm gonna see if I can figure out this hardware for the engine cover. I think I bought all the correct brackets and washers and support plates and the little Yeti cooler looking releases. And these, of course, the one latch I put in over here on this other side is working really well. Okay. Oh. Let's get this guy out of here. It's fine. It's fine. I didn't need whatever that was. Pain is weakness leaving the body. That's what fell. He sent me this screenshot from the service manual. I just gotta make sure I somewhat follow the directions. So
Well, I don't know if you can see any of that, but that, boys, is locked in. Well, I'll be dog. The problem with this is I was gonna rivet this down for the corners, and now I really don't want to take it back off. Ha! I ain't going nowhere. Okay then. Ow. Okay. Doghouse is secure. These guys are in. The latches work. This is all riveted in. The only thing missing is the rubber piece on the floor for a couple reasons. One, I'm going to have to take this off, clean that up a little bit before I rivet those in. We'll have to figure that out, but later. I don't have to have that necessarily for the inspection because I feel like it's on there. It's not going anywhere. So, progress. Save these and put them on at a later date. On to the next thing. Okay, as you know, another thing I have to have is seat belts. Got these off Amazon. Hopefully these will work. Man, that looks goofy. Sticking up that high. They do retract. Ugh. I think I need to loosen that a bit so that it can swivel. God. Oh, this feels awful. Actually, it's not terrible. I do need to loosen that, I think. A smidgen. Because I think it's got a washer on it. I just need to rotate it maybe. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. Honestly, I could probably just leave it locked. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay. I mean, it does lock, so in theory I won't fall out. Seat belts. I have one. Put the other one in. Well, I think that's gonna be it for today. Got a lot done. Got the pulley pulling the way it's supposed to. Got seat belts. Both front seat belts are in. I feel like I did something else. We riveted. Oh, Doghouse. Doghouse is in. So making some progress. Cutting down things on that list so that we can go get this inspected so I can get a plate or a title and then a plate, and then more adventures can happen. So thanks for following along. Make sure to like and subscribe, turn on notifications so you can get the next video, which will either be something from the list or it'll be some random side quest that I don't need to be doing, but I'll probably do it anyways. Yeah, buy some merch. Thanks again for watching.
feels like we're getting close to doing something with this. And it's summer, so I'm hoping to take it out. Also, again, let me know in the comments or send me a message on Instagram if you're planning to go to the Dallas Humvee meetup, trading parts and stuff, and if I should come. I don't know that I have any parts worth anything, but I could bring some shirts or some stickers or something. So let me know if you're gonna be there. And yeah, see you next time. That's just a little sneak peek of what we might be doing next time. But for now, as always, yours and my favorite part. Let's see what we've done. What have we done? Huh. Well, we don't need a Harmonic balancer. We didn't do that, but that's okay. We're gonna mark it off the list for now. Man, I thought there would be more. Tensioner. We fixed that. Replaced it. It wasn't broken. We did Doghouse, whatever that says. We did seat belts. Okay. So we still got to do the front and rear clearance lights. We got to test the light. The blinkers aren't blinking. One of the side markers isn't working. Reflectors are in. We can knock that off. Floor support. That's gonna happen soon. Inverted data plate. Oh, that actually says Doghouse surround, and I did not do that. Maybe next time. I just got excited. Seatbelts, were they not on here? Oh, already knocked it off. Okay, well, there you have it. More to come next time, so stay around.